Could I thank you all for coming and thank Tanya in particular for what I think will be seen as a groundbreaking, path-breaking report. We asked Tanya Byron, who is an expert in these matters and also a mum, to look at the issue of the internet and how we can give parents more information so they can make sure that their children can be safe while they use the internet and also use video games. And also to talk to industry in Britain and around the world to see what we can do to make sure that we strengthen regulation so that parents have got the information but also the certainty that their children are safe while they're having fun using this new technology, which is, to be honest, quite different from the kind of things which children played with when we were young 10, 20, 30 years ago. And Tanya's done a great report. We're publishing it here today at the Trocadero in Trafalgar Square. We've got a huge amount of media from Britain and around the world come to see what Tanya is saying. I think this will be seen as a path-breaking report in Britain, but also around the world. I know that other governments and industry are going to be looking to see what we do here in Britain, because no government before has asked for this kind of review. No government has really tried to tackle the issue of the internet and video games to make sure that we've got fun but also safety.
It's really good to be launching the review. It's been 6 months of really, really hard work. Can I say that this review is about children and young people? They are at the heart of the review, and it's with their interests in mind.
People try to add me. I only accept the people that I know, or people that have told me that they will add me. But I normally feel safe on the internet. I know what I'm doing.
With some movies, 18 movies, it's all about context. I mean, you can watch a movie and you realise that it's not real, and you can put it into perspective. It's the same with games. Some games are going to scare younger players, but most players will be able to put this sort of thing into perspective and learn from it. It's very important for everyone to know what they're playing. I mean, the parents especially should take an active interest if the child's younger, but at the same time, a child knows what he's playing is whether right or wrong, so you can't put the blame entirely on one person. And then again, everyone needs to share the responsibility and just talk about what they're doing when it comes to games and the internet.
I think it's a very good idea, and I think it needs for everybody to be aware of the dangers with the internet. But I think parents do have to take a responsibility and be involved with your children. It shouldn't be just them left to it. I think you have to share the experience with the child.
Safety for children is a priority for a society. They're the next generation, and it's about balancing opportunity and risk. That's how we want to bring up our children. And we live in a risk-averse culture. We are concerned about risk in our children. And I've really challenged government to say, look, children they're running ahead in digital worlds. They're using the internet, they're using the online space, they're using video games in a way that we the adults don't understand because we didn't grow up with it. So therefore we are not feeling confident to be able to enable our children to understand how to get as much out of these worlds as possible, but actually also to stay safe. So I'm asking government to resource information campaigns, to set up a UK Council for Internet Safety, which is established by and reporting to the Prime Minister, chaired by Ed's Department, DCSF, and also the Home Office, because we need to look at illegal content. Looking to industry to self-regulate around codes of practice, principles of good practice, for those to be independently evaluated and monitored, for parents to be given the tools to really make the decisions they want to make about the kind of content that their children access, both online and also by streamlining and reforming the classification system so that parents can buy the right kind of video games for their kids so their kids can get the best experience from playing games, because playing is good for development, and video games are good things if they are played in the right way and it's the material for the right age.
Yes! Oh! No! Andy and I have written a ministerial statement to Parliament today saying that we are accepting all the recommendations in Tanya's report. There is a huge amount of work for us to do now. The UK Council will start work on immediately. The discussions with industry around the different self-regulatory things that you have proposed in the report we'll get on and do now. I think it's really, really challenging. There's lots of recommendations in Tanya's report, but we've said today we're going to implement the report in full. We'll now set up this UK Council to work out how we can do this together. We're going to work with industry, we're going to work with parents and young people. We're also going to make sure we use experts as well to get this right. We'll implement this in full, as I said. It's partly about making sure that industry is self-regulating and has good codes of practice, but it's also helping parents to understand the kind of things that they can do to make sure that their children are safe. One of the interesting things in the discussions we had over the last few months with Tanya is that we hadn't realised that quite often the providers of services like YouTube give information to parents about what's safe and what age children should be using things like YouTube, but parents don't always know that. And I think often parents feel passive because haven't themselves experienced it, and therefore they don't quite know what to do. In all our discussions, parents have said to us, give us information, give us some things which we can understand, give us ways in which we can make sure our children are safe, but also while they play and have fun. And I think Tanya's recommendations will do that. We will implement them in full. I think people will look back and see this as a very important day.